Hello students, this is Rajesh sir from Mechanical Department, Southeast Asian College. Okay, today I am going to solve a problem on pentagonal prisms. So already we have started with solids. Some student asked for the demo, that's why I am doing this. So here in the given solutions I am solving this third problem. In this problem, a pentagonal prism of 25 mm sides of base and 50 mm axis length rest on HP on one of its corner. Please remember, this is on corner of the base such that the two base edges containing the corner on which it rests makes equal inclination with HP. Okay, draw the projection of the prism when the axis is inclined to HP at 40 degree and and appears to be inclined to VP at 45 degree. So here remember, the axis is inclined to HP at 40 degree and appears to be inclined to VP at 45 degree. Okay, so there is a word called appears. So here the given angle will be beta angle. No need to find beta here. Okay, so I think you understood. This problem is pentagonal prism having 25 mm sides and its axis height is 50 mm, where it rests on one of its corner of the base. Okay, corner condition it is. Again, the prism when the axis is inclined to HP at 40 degree and appears to be inclined to VP at 45 degree. So that means the axis is inclined to both the planes HP and VP. Okay, now we will solve this. Okay, here you can see a pentagonal prism. So here you can see this, right, which is having both pentagonal base and pentagonal top face. Okay, so here I am named the corners of the top face as A, B, C, D and E, whereas bottom face as A1, B1, C1, D1 and E1. Okay, so this is the top and bottom face, and it has lateral faces or vertical faces, that is rectangular faces. So it will be of at the base A1, B1, AB. Similarly, other sides B1, C1, BC. Okay, so these are the lateral faces throughout. So now I am making, see, some problems even you can name the top face as P, Q, RST, any name you can give, but whatever the naming you are going to give, you should follow the same. Okay, now here I have taken the top face as A, B, C, D, E and bottom as A1, B1, C1, D1. Okay, so now we will see. So in the problem he has said the base corner, it is resting on its base corner, so that means the base corner should come to the right side. In planes, remember, the corner or edge condition should come to the left side, but here in solids it should come to the right side. Okay, so now since he has said corner, we have kept corner as the condition. Okay, so when we keep in this condition, you can see the top view. When you view from the top, it looks as a pentagon, just a pentagon. So that is A, B, C, D, E. So that's why I have constructed a pentagon here. Everyone know how to construct pentagon. You just name it as A, B, C, D, E. Now coming to this, at the bottom we have A1, B1, C1, D1, E1, right? But from the top view we cannot see that. So that's why I have written them in A1 bracket, in A1, B1, C1, D1, E1 in brackets. Okay, now with this we should do other one thing. We should find the axis position. See, as in the square it won't be at the middle. Okay, we have to identify the axis position. To identify this, very simple, from the side take the midpoint. Okay, from that midpoint join a line to this corner, resting corner. Then next, similarly here take a midpoint here, and from the opposite corner just join up to that line. If you want, you can extend completely up to here, or else you can stop it here. Using a scale you should align it and you can extend completely or up to the bisecting section. Okay, so here you will get the axis point that you can name the top in the top face as O and bottom as O1. So here I'll just mention O and here it is O1. Okay, so this is how to draw the top view. Now coming to this front view, you can see that when you look at from the front, you can see 1, 2, 3 edges, that is A1 to A, B1 to B, C1 to C. Okay, so to draw this okay, to draw this, what you have to draw is you have to take the projection lines from the top view. So once you take the projections from the top view and also from the axis line, so you draw the given height is, I think, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 I have taken. Yes, we have taken it as 60 axis length. Now just you join, extend the lines. See here you can see the line differences. Projection lines are very thin. Visible lines are very thick. So now coming to this, as I said, when you look at from the front, you can see these 3 edges. So which are those edges? That is A1 to A, B1 to B. So from here, if you want to identify, you can draw an arrow. See here you can see A, right? So you can write here it as A1 dash A dash. Whereas E, we cannot see it from here. You can just see here, when we place like this, you cannot see the E, right? So that's why I have placed this in bracket, E1 dash E dash in brackets. Similarly here you can see B from this side, so that is here, sorry, that is here. So we can see B, but we cannot see the D from the front view. Okay, so that's why I have written as B1 dash in bracket D1 dash. Similarly we can see C, so that's why I have written as C1 dash. So these are all base, that's why I have written as A1 dash, B1 dash, C1 dash. Now coming to the top, A dash, E dash, B dash, D dash and C dash. Similarly we have also mentioned O1 dash, O dash. Okay, whatever we mention in the front view, it should be dash. Okay, so this is how to draw the first projection of that is first project phase. Okay, now we have to follow the second condition. So we have followed first condition, that is it is resting on its corner. Okay, now what we have to do is it should be inclined such that the axis makes an angle of 40 degree with HP. Okay, so we will do that. For doing this, what you have to do is, beside you have to take any one position. Okay, then remember this. So here you can see I have, as usual, I have kept like this. Now what I have to do is I have to incline such that this axis here, the axis should make 40 degree. Okay, with HP. So to do this, what we are going to do is, so we don't know exactly how to do this. So first what we do is, as I said in the previous problems, when you incline any axis, and when you rest it, here it will be of 90. So whatever the axis is given, we should identify base. So 90 minus 40, it is 50. So what I wanted to say is, when you incline, we cannot take the axis inclination. Okay, we cannot take the axis inclination, so we have to take this base inclination. Okay, base inclination. So here it is for 90 minus 40, 50. Here you make a mark, so use the protractor. So by using protractor, you measure the angle of 50 from this side. So I got it here somewhere. Okay, so this is 50. So once I get this, take here and draw an light line. It should be very light. See differences. Okay, so once you do this, then next, using compass, you measure, consider this is the resting C, so you just mention this as C1 dash. Now measure C1 dash to A1 dash. Using compass, measure C1 dash to A dash. So now from this resting corner, cut an arc. Okay, so what happens, this will become E1 dash of A1 dash. Okay, E1 dash of A1 dash. Similarly, you also find C1 dash to O1 dash, C1 dash to B1 dash. So we are putting this here at the C1 dash, measuring O1 dash. I think you can see this. So from here I draw O1 dash. Next, C1 dash to B1 dash. Measure C1 dash to B1 dash, and here you cut the arc. Okay, so once you do this, now what you have to do is name it. So this is O1 dash and this is B1 dash of D1 dash. So we got the base. Now we need to identify the top face, right? So to do this, what you have to do is measure C1 dash to C dash. So with the compass, okay, C1 dash to C dash, then holding here, draw an arc, a light arc. Similarly, you measure A1 dash to C dash. So now we will see, before that you also check this, A1 dash to A dash will be also the same. So at the meantime we will take here also A1 dash to here, one arc. So we have taken C1 dash to C dash, A1 dash to A dash, because they are having the equal length. Now we'll go for diagonally. A1 dash to C dash. A1 dash to C dash. And even you can check, even C1 dash to A1 dash, the same distance it will be. So now measure C1 dash to A1 dash, and similarly A1 dash to C1 dash. We got the intersections both, right? So now erase some excess lines. You erase and hold only intersection points. Now you just see here, I'm going to join them. So once you do this, okay, there was a slight change. So that is same procedure is same. C1 dash to C dash, measure with the compass, okay, and cut the arc. C1 dash to C dash, measure with the compass, cut the arc. Similarly, A1 dash to A dash, A1 dash to A dash, you cut the arc. So opposite diagonal, C1 dash to A dash, C1 dash to A dash. Okay, similarly A1 dash to C dash. So if you draw, you can see this, you got the rectangle. So you just join the intersection lines. Now we also have to identify C1 dash to O dash, C1 dash to B dash. I think you can do that, right? C1 dash to O dash, then C1 dash to B dash. So once you do this, so we have to extend a line from O dash to O1 dash and extend until it reaches the XY line. So I'll just extend this. So here you can see this is 40 degree. Actually we identified base 50 degree, taken as 50. Now when you check the axis, you will get it as 40. So this was the thing asked in the, yes, it is around, it is 40. Okay. So similarly you also join it from B dash to B dash. And please remember, you should always name it first. If you don't name it, it will get confused. Okay. So you always first name it A dash to E dash. Here a small mistake. E1 dash should be in bracket, A1 dash should be out. So this is how to construct the front view of the second position. Now you can see this, right? So when we incline, this is what happens. Now we have to draw the top view. When we incline like this, what is the top view? Okay, so for this, first take the vertical projections and even horizontal projections. Okay, so here I have taken the vertical projections as well as horizontal projection from all corner. See, from C dash, B dash, O dash, A dash, I have taken vertical projections. Similarly from the base I have taken vertical projections. Similarly from here, from the first projection, I have taken horizontal projection from all corner, A, B, C, D, E. I have taken horizontal projections. So now we have to draw the top view. Okay, so to draw this, now just first important or most important thing is first identify the positions of A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, D and A1, B1, C1, D1. Okay, and O1. So to do this, here you check, this is A, this is A, okay, and here this is A dash. So they both meet here. Okay, so I'll name this as A. Okay, and next this is B and this is B dash. So they both meet here. Sorry, here. This is B. Similarly, this is C. Next, this is same line D. Okay. Next, this is E, and here E dash. Both meet exactly here. Okay, just very simple. E and E dash, they both meet here. Next, A dash, they both meet here. Like this you should identify all this, A, B, C, D, E, and even O. So this is here and here, this is O. Okay, similarly you identify the base also. We have identified top face, now base. So here it is A1, here it is, sorry, here, right? This is A1 dash line and this is A1, they both meet here. This is A1, here it will, sorry, this is B1, here it is C1, here it is D1, and here it is E1. So this is bottom face, and here it is O1. So O1. So now we have to construct the top view. So for constructing the top view, we should identify hidden lines. Okay, so first what I do is, first I'll draw this axis line. So axis line, everyone know, I think it is bigger and smaller lines. Axis lines never changes. Okay, we have to draw the axis line. Next, now we have to check. See, when I hold and incline this in this direction, now from the top view, can I see the top face? Yes, we can see the top face. So all the edges of the top face are visible. Then you join it. See here, A to E I am joining, making it dark. B to A, making it dark. B to C, C to D, D to E. When the face is visible, all its edges are visible. Now coming to this bottom face. Can you see the bottom face? You cannot see this bottom face, right? So we should identify which are visible and invisible. So these are the visible edges, and there are two invisible edges. These two edges passing from C. These two edges. Or for this, the rule is whichever is a border line, they are visible. Whichever is moving inside, they are invisible. Now you can check. A to E is an border, it is an invisible line, sorry. Then E to E1 to D1, it is a border line, so it is a visible, make it. Similarly A1 to B1 is a visible, because they are borders, there is no other line outside this. Now when coming to B to C, it is going inside, and even D to C it is going inside. So you should just join it by dotted line. I think everyone is following, right? So we got the two base edges. Now coming to the lateral edges. Lateral edges means A to A1, B to B1, C to C1. So we have to identify. See, for this you have to check it from here. That is, from here you have to check. So when you check from here, can you see A to A1, A dash to A1 dash? Then it is visible. You can also see E dash to E1 dash. Then it is also visible. So make it visible. A to A1 is a visible. E to E1 is a visible. Okay. So two lines are visible. Can you see B to D, sorry, B dash to B1 dash, D dash to D1 dash? So it is difficult to identify. But when you imagine like this, see, you can see A, sorry, okay, here you can see A, B lateral edges, and you can also see D and B also, or else here you can identify it as B to B1 is a borderline, is a visible. Next, D to D1 is also visible. Now the remaining one, we have completed A, B, D, E. Remaining is C. So here when you look at from the top, can you see C? You cannot. So that's why it is an dotted line. So another way of identifying, when two base edges are passing, the passing lateral edge is also an dotted line. Okay. So this is how to identify the top view, and here completes the projection of an prism, second part. Now the final view we have to draw. So to draw this, we have to take the inclination with VP. So it is given 45 degree to VP, but there is a word called appears. When there is a word called appears, the given angle itself is a beta. No need to find the beta angle. Okay. Okay, we will do that. So to do this, what we have to do is take any one position on this xy line. From there, using protractor, measure angle of 45. Here you can see this is 45 angle. Now from there you just extend the line. So once you have extended the line, take any position on the line as O. Okay, so you name this as O. Now next, using compass, measure from, sorry, here. So measure it from O to O1 dash. See, remember this, I'm just glancing. In beta problems, you have to identify beta angle. To identify beta angle, measure O1 dash to O dash, cut the arc, draw the locus line, then measure apparent length here from the top, O to O1, and cut the arc on that locus line. Okay, that is beta problem. But here, as there is a word called appears, no need to find beta. Directly you should project this image onto this 45 degree line. Okay, remember this. Fine. So now I am measuring it from O to O1. O to O1. I am just cutting an arc. So I name it as O1. Got it? So once we got O and O1, we can identify O2C, O2C1. Okay, these 2 points we can identify, right? So we'll do that. So what is this? O2C. So from O to C, I'll name it as C. Next, from the same O, measure C1. O2C, O2C. Sorry, this is C1, O2C1. Okay. Next, what to do? We have to identify other positions. So to identify other positions, just go with the same method. So first we will identify this top face. So to identify this top face, measure O2D. You measure O2D, there will be same distance from O2B. O2D, what distance is there? Same O2B will be there. So I measured this and I'll cut the arc. See, try to avoid not to cross the XY line. The arc or the image, this image should not cross the XY line. So it is very nearer. You should take little bit down. Okay. So I got O2D and O2B, two arcs, but I didn't get intersection point, right? So I'll measure it from O1 to D and O1 to B. Okay. I think they two also have the same distance, O2D and O2B. They are of same. So now what I'll do is from O, I'll cut. So here I have drawn an arc. So be careful, you should extend these arcs because we are not getting intersection points. So this is little bit problem. So be careful while drawing this O2C. So here we got an intersection and here we got an intersection. So we got these 2 points, right? You name it as D and B. So you got this, right? Similarly, you also identify O2E, O2A and O1 to E, O1 to A. Okay. So you will get the 2 points. Next, go in and reverse. O2D1 and O2B1. Next, O1 to D1, O1 to B1. Okay. So like this, you go on constructing. Now you can see this. I have constructed this. So I got top face and the bottom face. How I did for the top face, same method. O2D1 and O2B1. From O2D1 I draw an arc and O2B1. Okay, I'll just name it D1 and B1. Similarly, I measured O2E1, 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 O2E1 and O2E1. Now from O1 to D1, O1 to B1, O1 to D1, O1 to B1. You will get, similarly you will get the intersections. Now I have constructed as it is. Now I will join the lateral edges. Okay, I am joining the lateral edges. And here C to C1 is a dotted line. Okay, so this is how to construct the top view of the third position. Now this is the final position we have to construct. To construct this final position, take first you take all the horizontal projections from all the points A, B, C, D, E. You take horizontal projections. I will show one line like this. You take all the from the top face and also from the bottom face, A dash, B dash, C dash, D dash, E dash, A1 dash, B1 dash, D1 dash, C1 dash, and even you can also take projection from O dash to O dash and O1 dash also, horizontal lines. After this, while taking vertical projections, so you should be careful. Step by step we have to do that. Okay, so now you can see this. I have taken horizontal lines and I have also taken vertical lines. So here, as I said, you can take all the horizontal lines from all the points. Okay, but while taking the vertical projections, you should be careful. So first you have to take the projections from the base. So that is A, B, A1, B1, C1, D1, E1. So while taking the projection, you should be careful. This is A1 and this is A1 dash. Okay, they both join at here. So you can see this is a1 dash and this is a, so they both join at here, so you make a mark, this is a1 dash. Similarly you go for b, this is b1 and this is b1 dash, so both join it here, you can see, right? So this is b1 b dash, so b1 dash, so don't put into mark, just for your reference I am doing this. Okay, so c1 c1 dash, so they both meet here. Similarly d1 d1 and d1, they both meet here. Okay, so similarly o1. Okay, so like this you first identify the base points. So first you identify these base points a1 b1 c1 d1 e1 o1, and you just identify which are visible and invisible lines in the base. So now coming to this drawing, here first we placed on the corner condition tilted to 40° axis and tilted 45° to VP. So this is the position, right? You can see it. So when I look at from the front, okay, so just you can see here, when I look at from the front this direction, so I can see this base, I can see the base from the front view. See here, so when you are looking from this, so here like this, so you can see the base, but from this side you cannot see the top face, this is behind, so whereas the bottom is in front. Okay, so we can see the base, that's why all the edges of the base is visible. So just go on joining a to b, a to b, b to c, c to d, d to e, e to a. Okay, so this is how to construct the base. Now you start constructing top face. As I said, for the base, same way bottom also, this is a and this is a dash, so they both meet here. B b dash, they both meet here. Like this you identify all the points c d e. I have identified. Take the projection. So don't try to do at a time because you will get confused. First construct the base, identify. So other way of identifying which are visible and invisible, just see here, put arrow mark. So the base is away from xy line, so that means it is visible, and nearer to observer, so it is visible. The top face is nearer to xy line, away from observer, so there is an hidden lines in this. So to identify these hidden lines, just check out which are the border lines. So here you can see C to B is a border, B to A, that is B dash to A dash, because beyond this there is no any other line, so they are border lines. Border lines always, anywhere it is visible. Even this A to E is also border, is a visible line. But when you see E to D and C to D, they are moving inside, so that's why they are invisible lines. So you join them with the dotted lines. Okay, so obviously these two are the invisible lines and these three are the visible lines. Okay, simple trick. Border lines visible, inside lines, because we identify that it is nearer to xy line, away from the observer, so obviously there are some hidden lines, so these are the hidden lines. Okay, so now do the draw the vertical lines, that is a1 to a1 dash to a dash, b1 dash to b dash. Okay, so to do this, just check out. See, since these two lines are invisible lines, the lateral line passing from this is also an invisible line, so that is, it is d dash, so d dash to d1 dash, it is an invisible line. Okay, now identify other edges. So to identify other edges, whether they are visible or invisible, remember the rule. In the beta or appears to be problems, the lateral lines below xy line or on the xy line are visible. The lines above xy line are invisible. Okay, but sometimes if the lines are above the axis, this axis line, but if they are border, they are visible. Okay, so now in this case, a to a1, b to b1 are below the axis line, so they are visible. So check out, this is a to a1, this is visible. Okay, next again b to b1, so this is also below the axis line, so this is also visible. Now coming to this c, c is on axis line, so when it is on axis line, it is also a visible line. Okay, this is an visible line. Now coming to this e to e1, so this is an above the axis line, so it should be invisible line, right? So we can draw invisible line, but as it is a border line, even it is invisible, we have to write it as an visible because it is border line. Now check out d to d1, it is above axis line, so d to d1 already we have written, it is a dot. Now you can see the shape, right? So this is how it sits. So bottom face is fully visible, top face is behind, and these are the lateral faces. So this is how to construct the pentagonal prism with corner condition and appears to be. See, if there is a no word appears in the same problem, you have to identify beta angle. I have already explained. To identify beta angle, measure the true axis length, cut an arc here, draw a axis line, measure the apparent length here, O1 to O. So from the same you cut the arc and you take the extension of the line, you will get the beta. I have explained in the previous problem also how to take beta angle, right? So I think you can do it, but in this problem it is appears to be no need to find the beta angle. So I think you are clear with this, right? If any doubts, you can ask or call me back.